Welcome to part 2 of factoring quadratic equations. In part 1, we factor out binomial squares. In this video, we are going to factor out perfect trinomial squares to get our solutions. X squared plus 11x plus 24 equals to 0. The first step is to look out for the factor product of 24, which adds up to 11. So the factor pairs of 24 are 12 and 2, 8 and 3. Trying those ones. X plus 8 and x plus 3, which is equals to 0. So after finding the factor pairs of this constant, we are going to set them up to a zero product property. That means any one of these terms must be 0, so that the product must be 0. In this case, we have x plus 3, x plus 8 equals to 0, or x plus 3 equals to 0. Solving this, we're going to have x equals to negative 8 or x equals to negative 3. So those are my two solutions. The next problem, we have x squared minus 5x minus 36 equals to 0. If you want to try this on your own, you can pause this video before I give you the solutions. Great, now let's go on. The factor pairs of 36 factor pairs equal to 18 and 2, 9 and 4, so using 9 and 4, we just needed factor pairs which add up to negative 5. So we're gonna have x plus 4 and x minus 9, which is equals to 0. Both of them, we set them up to a zero product property. From here, we see that we have two solutions, x plus 4 equal to 0 or x minus 9 equals to 0. Solving these equations, x equals to negative 4 or x equals to positive 9. Now, many learners may not trust me with these answers. So, to check, we are going to substitute x equals to negative 4 here. So let's see, negative 4 squared minus 5 times negative 4 is 20 minus 36. So we have 16 minus 20 minus 36, which is equals to 0. So solving this, we have a positive here. Now 36 minus 36 equals to 0. That means our answer of x equals to 4, it checks out. The next step, we're gonna check if the solution of 9 that we got checks out. So 9 squared minus 5 times 9 minus 36 equal to 0. Must give us 0. So 81 minus 9 times 5 is 45 minus 36 equals to 0. So 81 minus 45 is positive 36 minus 36, which is equal to 0. So that means this x equals to 9 as our solution. It checks out. The next problem that we have is number K. Is number J, which says negative x squared minus 11x plus 42 equals to 0. So if you want to try this on your own, you can pause this video before I give you the real solutions. Really great. So the first step that I'm going to do, I'm going to factor out this negative sign. So it's going to be negative x squared plus 11x minus 42 equal to 0. Great. So the next step, I'm going to find out the factors of 42, which adds up to 11. So the factors of 42, factor pairs of 42 is 21 and 2. The other ones are 14 and negative 3. So from those factor pairs, you can see that only two factor pairs, they add up to negative 11x, which are 14 and 3. So our next step, we're going to include them x minus 3, x plus 14, which equals to 0. So the next step, we see x minus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 14 equal to 0. Now both of these, for the key moment, we're gonna have x equals to 3 as our first solution and x equals to negative 14 as our second solution. Now many learners may not trust me with these solutions, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna substitute these solutions back into our perfect trinomial square so that we prove that they are indeed the real solutions. So we have negative 3 squared minus 11 multiplied by 3 plus 42. So negative 9 negative 33 plus 42. These two is negative 42 plus 42, which equals to 0. So indeed, x equal to 3 checks out. Now let's see x equal to 14 substituted there. 14 squared minus 11 times negative 14 plus 42. So here we see negative 11 times 14, 154. So 14 squared 169 minus 154 is 42. It's minus 42 plus 42. So that means our answer of x equal to 14, it checks out. The next problem, we have 3x squared minus 27x plus 60. If you want to try this on your own, you can pause this video before I give you the correct answer. Great. So looking at this, you can take out the greatest common factor, which is 3, and I'll be left with x squared minus 9x plus 20 equals to 0. Great. Now the next step, I have to get the factor pairs of 20 which add up to the factor pairs that we have factor pairs of 20 which is equals to negative 4 and negative 5. So from here we see 3 is gonna be factored out, and it's x minus 4 x minus 4 and x minus 5. So those are the factor pairs of 20 which add up to negative 9, our middle term. Solving these for x, we're gonna have x minus 4 equals to 0, or x minus 5 equal to 0. This is what is called setting them up to a zero product property, because any one of these terms must be 0, so that the product must be 0. So from this side we have x equals to 4 or x equal to 5. So many learners may not trust me with this answer. To prove that, we're just gonna check if x equal to 4 and x equal to 5 are really indeed the solutions for our problem. 3 into 4 squared minus 27 into 4 plus 60. So we're just gonna use 4 to check. 4 squared is 16 times 3 is 48 minus 27 times 4 is 108 plus 60. So it's gonna be 48 minus 108 is minus 60 plus 60. So that means x equal to 4 indeed is our real answer. It checks out. Again, let's check with x equal to 5. 3 into 5 squared minus 27 into 5 plus 60. So 5 squared is 25 times 3 is 75 minus 27 is 71 plus 60. So we have this minus this is plus 60 is negative 60 plus 60, which is equal to 0. So that means our answer of x equals to 5, again it checks out. So our solutions are real and they have real solutions. K, our next problem is L. Five x squared plus 18x plus 9 equals to 0. So if you want to try this on your own, you can pause this video before I give you the real solution. The next step, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna associate 18x, dissociate it into two parts. 5x squared plus 3x plus 15x plus 9 equals to 0. As you can see, this 18 was broken down into 3x plus 15x. I didn't change much. The next step, I'm going to group like terms. These ones and these ones are alike. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna take out the greatest common factor from here, which is x, and I'll be left with 5x plus 3. And from here, I'll take out another greatest common factor, which is plus 3. And inside the bracket, I'll be left with 5x plus 3, which is equal to 0. The next step, I'm going to equate to isolate x, because x is the only variable that we are solving for. So we have x plus 3 and 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Remember that we setting them up for a zero product property. So these are our product terms. X plus 3, this x plus this 3, 5x plus 3, this one is this one. Now the next step is to solve each one of them. So 5x plus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 3 equal to 0. Solving this, I'm going to take 3 to the other side and it becomes 5x equal to 3. To isolate x, I'm going to divide both sides by x and it becomes negative 3 over 5. So the first solution is gonna be x equals to negative 3 over 5. The second solution, I'm going to take 3 to the other side and it becomes negative 3. So it becomes x equals to negative 3. So many learners may not trust me with these solutions. So I'm going to substitute negative 3 over 5 in my original equation. So to check, I had 5 into negative 3 over 5. I'm going to square it plus 18. Negative 3 over 5 plus 9 equals to 0. Remember that this whole thing must give me 0 to prove that negative 3 over 5 is indeed the real solution. So here I'm gonna have 9, because 5 and 5 goes out. Negative 3 squared is 9 plus 18 times 3, 56 over 5 times 9. So we have negative 9 . So the first one checks out. The second one, we are going to check using our solution of x equal to minus 3. Now substituting x equal to negative 3 here, we're going to have 5 into negative 3 squared plus 18 into negative 3 plus 9 equals to 0. So 5 multiplied by 9 plus 18 multiplied by 3 is negative 54 plus 9, which is equals to 0. So here I have 45 minus 54 plus 9, which is equal to 0. That means negative 9 plus 9 equal to 0. And our solution of x equals to negative 3, it checks out. That means we are correct with that solution of x equals to negative 3. And we have our last problem, 18x squared minus